Now for Leo ascendant natives, what is so special about Jupiter's rulership of the 5th house and the 8th house? Firstly, Jupiter's rulership of the 5th house, but also of the 8th house. It means that, connect the dots. On one side, Jupiter is ruling the 5th house of romance, of intimacy, of interest in the opposite gender, of how your equation will be with the opposite gender, but combining it or connecting it to the 8th house results, obstacles, challenges, issues. So what this does is, when you least expect, challenge will come to you from the opposite gender. This could be during your dating life, when you are in college, or you like somebody, you propose to that person, you want to get closer to the person, but what happens is, when you least realize, or you think this person is also interested, the hint is given to you, the signs are given to you, that person may say, no, you know what, I like you as a friend, and you suddenly feel, oh, whoa, what happened? This person was giving me those signs that this person is interested. What happened? So sometimes you need to lay the foundation strong enough and not come out strongly in front of the person, because then the person will back off. So this means that you have to work hard, and you also have to do the courtship very well before you attract the attention or the affection of the other person. Now, because it is the 5th house, this also means that if at all you do get the attention of the opposite gender or the person that you're interested in, when you think things are going really well, suddenly, without warning, some challenge will come. So one fine day, you don't even know what happened. You said something, you did something, and all hell breaks loose. You said this, you did this, you embarrassed me, you shouted at me, you screamed at me, you don't take care of me, I was ill that day, you asked me to do this, you didn't ask me about me, and you're like, oh, what happened? So a lot of attention seeking will also come in from the opposite partner, opposite gender, opposite partner, whoever you're wanting to date, or are dating, or in a relationship, or even married to. So without warning, suddenly that challenge will come, and then it gets related to something else. So for example, decision has to be made at home between you and your partner, if you're a married person, woman or man, and now the decision is taking on a hue where you are not agreeing, or the other person is not agreeing, and slightly discomfort is coming, some arguments are coming. Then what happens? It doesn't remain relegated to that topic. Something else also suddenly comes in. You said this last time, you did this, you never agreed to me, to what I want to say. Last time, this decision also you did not allow. Without warning, you will find that a new thing is thrown into the mix, which may or not be related to the current thing that you are discussing. So when a decision has to be taken, you will find that if at all the discussion gets into slight argument, pushback is there, it has a potential to flare up big time and spoil the relation, and suddenly sulking, not talking to each other comes in because of a decision which has to be taken, and the decision is not going according to your whims and plans. Now, why does this happen? Of course, the 8th house energies are there, but it is the Sagittarius energy. It says that learn and understand what the romance is all about. It's about a balance between you and your partner. So sometimes you don't always look at it practically. Look at the emotional side. Jupiter wants you to learn the emotion, the mushiness. And the other thing, what is the ascendant? Leo is the ascendant. Sun rules the ascendant. So many times, whether you want it or not, whether you think you do it or not, the feeling in the other person that you're too authoritative, you're too controlling, you're too irresponsible also comes in. So many times this allegation will be put to you that you're not responsible enough, you too don't take responsibility, you don't care enough, you don't empathize enough, you don't ask enough, you don't do enough. This will also come to you where you are expected to take more responsibility or showcase more responsibility without being too authoritative. So that will also come in. Other thing is in terms of your investments, where you're investing your money, you will find that investments suddenly, without warning, so till you make the investment, everything seems to be hunky-dory. A share or a crypto keeps going up. The moment you make the investment, within days you find it's all collapse, and you lose money in that because you have not learned the lesson of patience. And if the greed comes in, you look at, oh, the share is really doing very well and it's peaking, suddenly you invest in that, it comes down. So it means the greed is not good. Don't be over greedy. Then the other thing it does is it brings in a responsibility in you for change. Remember, especially related to work. Why change and related to work? First of all, Jupiter rules the 8th house. Obstacles, challenges, problems. But Pisces energies of giving up, being charitable, not getting enough returns for your effort. And the 5th house is the 8th house to the 10th house. So in terms of your career, you will go through a transformation. Without warning, suddenly you will have to change the job, you will have to change the role. So very rarely will you find that you have a mushy job, you have a cushy job, and you are able to sit there and you are able to do with no disturbance. Suddenly, without warning, something will come, disturb the equation within you, within your boss, in your department. Let's shake up. And this will be when you least expect. This is not that kind of a thing where you expect a company is going down, it's not doing so very well, they may ask some people to leave, they may not give increments, they may not give good incentives. This is not that kind of a thing. This is hits you when you least expect, or when you're expecting only this much more happens by virtue of reciprocity, or a result coming to you when you least expect, and to the extent that you didn't think, oh, this is too much. So a small fight may come in and suddenly your partner says break up. Okay, this is a small fight, come on. But that may happen. And then children may not be of much gains to you. Now I don't want to disappoint you, but with this placement, children may also become obstacles to your romance, especially after you're married. You will find when the children have come in, romance has ceased. Now this may happen with most marriages, but in your marriage, this has to be the one of the most important factors. The mushiness is what is also connecting you. Especially Leo sign people, you want to be loved, you want to be praised, you want to be put on a pedestal. So sometimes you're also looking how much is the partner reciprocating to my effort. So this is a work cut out for Leo ascendant natives. Be more soft, be more kind, be more giving. Keep your eyes out for those obstacles, those challenges. Pay more attention to the changes. You bring about a change and transformation in your job. Don't wait for the zodiac to give you things on a platter, which will not happen.